Good evening and welcome to the Shea. A big battle in prospect as both these sides have lost. Halifax and Warrington have lost 2 league placings in the last 2 days due to the victories of Castleford and of Hull. So they now lie 6th and 7th. And Warrington have struggled early on to find the form, but it's coming together now for Darryl van der Velde. Gary Mercer has had to pick his team up after the loss at Wigan, but the annihilation at St Helens put into perspective this afternoon with Wigan's performance there, where they failed to get 20 points. Halifax this evening looking to get back to winning ways at the Shea, with Daryl Cardis at full-back, Oliver Marnes, Greg Florimore, Marvin Golden, Damien Gibson returning after injury in the 3 quarters. He's opted to change the half-back pairing round with Dunneman at stand-off, perhaps to give him a little more room, and Martin Pearson, who's been consistent throughout the season, moves to scrum half. Brett Goldspink, Paul Rowley and locking in Savilio the front row after injury keeps out Jim Gannon. Gary Mercer, David Foster, Jamie Bloom has moved into the loose forward position. Moana, Andy Hobson, Kyle Tallick, Jim Naylor on the bench. Early pre-match photographs, the man in the away kit, young man in the away kit is Jonathan Smith, who attends Kirkheaton Primary School. Favourite players are Andrew Dunneman, Greg Florimore, Brett Goldspink. He likes squashing following Halifax. I'm Darryl McCauley, it's Micron Video. With us Andy Jude from Warrington, who'll go through the Warrington team as the match gets underway.
Cheers, Darryl. Warrington have only got 1 change from last week. Mark Foster has been replaced on the wing by John Roper. Foster's out with a broken arm, and it's Blue Sox who have got the ball for the first set of 6 tonight.
And I apologise, it's Adam Jude, not Andy Jude. Halifax pushing forward with Savelio, first start of the season, and a good drive into the Warrington defence. Rowley just inside his own half, uses the short side. Mercer drives Halifax over halfway. Steve Presley, this evening's official, signals the last tackle. Back to Pearson for the crossfield kick towards Alan Hunt. Good pressure on Alan Hunt. Great chase there by Damien Gibson.
Great take by Hunt there with a crossfield kick, and it's Cole Love. Tries to clear his lines for Warrington Wolves, but he's well met there by Savelio. Penny steps off the right foot, can't escape the attentions of Paul Rowley. Fire to Langer. Langer chips through, there's no one at home. Knott's putting pressure on there, the Daryl Cardis. There's nowhere to go, and Knott makes the tackle.
Yeah, good chase from Ian Knott after the tackle from Langer. And it's knocked the wind out of the sails of Halifax full-back as Golden comes forward. Langer and Andrew G are the tacklers. A lot expected of G, Langer and Nick Howe in this Warrington side. Big money signings this season. Goldspink off the short ball and making 10. Nick Howe's one of the Warrington defenders. Not sure who the other one is. Good ball from Foster back inside. Halifax running forward purposefully in the opening minutes. Last tackle again. Back to Pearson, who's just inside the 40, but he'll never make the 40-20. Testing kick again for Hunt, and he had to let it bounce. It was an awkward one.
Yeah, Pearson was going for the 40-20. That was one of Mercer's tactics, which he mentioned in the press this morning. Penny now for the Wolves. Tries to step round Goldspring, but can't do so. Farrer to Nickow, using the short side. Long ball there to Roper. Can't escape the clutches though with Oliver Marnes. Blakely, inside ball to Danny Nutley. He's had a great season so far for the Wolves. Super League's top tackler in round 5 with 46. Nickow, it's been caught on the short side by Rowley. He tried to rip it out, but he's not done so, and it's last tackle. Langer again to put the kick in. Kicks it to the narrow side. It's fielded by Oliver Marnes. He straightens up and makes the 20-metre line for the Blue Sox.
Well, end-to-end stuff in the opening minutes. Golden, who looked at Gibson, but I think Gibson a little bit far away. And now Gibson's in the acting half, fancies a run down the short side. Ian Knott and Langer are the tacklers. Golden to Pearson and Bloom. being used in the forwards, not as effective as he's played on the wing in the opening weeks of the season. And now Dunneman out to Florimo, who was well tackled before the pass could be made. Dunneman to Marnes. Marnes a chip over the top, shoulder on Marnes. Referee and touch should wave play on.
Yeah, I think Marnes played for the obstruction, but he didn't get it. There was good covering there from Jérôme Guisset, the French international. Nickau offloads to Knott. Knott to Kovalov. Tries to step Golden but can't do so. Adventurous from the Wolves there in their own 20. Knott at acting half, finds Nickau. Straightens up. Tries to go through Savalio but can't do so. Farah uses the short side through Knott, but Presley has pulled the Blue Sox for offside. A quick tap for the Wolves. No, they've taken the time and Blakely to find touch, who's been able to keep hold of this standoff position from Lee Breers after two good showings for the Wolves against the Wildcats and the Rhinos. Langer at first man finds Nutley. He's well tackled though, but the Wolves have taken play into the Blue Sox 20-metre zone. Langer fires the ball out to G. G misses out, Penny finds Knott. There was a scream there for obstruction, but the referee's given nothing. Farah to Langer. The Wolves looking dangerous in this opening 5 minutes. Blakely steps off the left, steps off the right, straightens up, but he's pulled down there by Jamie Bloom. Langer to Farah, straightens it up. Is Farah over? He's over for the first 4 points of the night. Is Danny Farah. He took the ball up at first man like a prop forward, but the little hooker, he's over, he steps off the left foot, he's straightened up, and the Wolves have gone into a 4-point lead. Slight defence there, Darryl, by the Blue Sox. Takes his time, Steve Blakely, but it's a successful kick, an easy kick, and that makes the score Warrington 6, Blue Sox 0. He's made a few changes, Darryl, to tonight's team as Gary. What do you think his thinking is behind switching the two halfbacks around?
Well, Pearson's been in sparkling form at the standoff position, and he's a marked man because he's played so well, and I think maybe Dunneman at standoff just to give him that little bit more room to put a few more kicks up if he gets the opportunity. But I think it's hinging around Dunneman's kicking, although we've not seen any yet, and it's Pearson that's done it all.
Yeah, Kovalov tries to get round Golden, but Golden keeps hold. Good break there for the Wolves, more adventurous play. G, short ball to Nickau. But it's been given a forward pass. I'm right in line with that, I don't disagree with that one, Darryl. I thought it was a decent pass, but it's been pulled up, and it's let the Blue Sox off as the Wolves were on a roll again.
Well, Steve Presley, who looked to his judge, I think he'd already made the decision and just wanted it reinforcing. As Florimo, great pass inside to Marnes. Both Halifax wingers returning from injury. Philosan left out of the side. And Bloom moving into the loose forward. And I think Moana left on the bench is a man that could perhaps break this game if that's what required in the last half an hour. Not at his best form so far this season as Rowley gets it away.
Looks a thing like the referees give the decision. It shouted held, and Paul Rowley offloaded after the referee shouted held, and the decision's gone Warrington's way. Penny tries to step Golden, but he clings on and makes a successful tackle. Not down the short side for the Wolves. Offloads again to Kovalov. He dummies to Hunt and keeps hold, much to Hunt's disgust. Farah to Langer to G. He's well met though by the Blue Sox defence. Blakely to Nickau. Short ball to Guisset, but he's well tackled, and it's Rowley who's picked up and scoots away for the Blue Sox.
Well, quite interesting in the that last decision that gave Warrington the scrum is that it's not actually one of the rules of rugby league, and the referee shouted held. So quite a contentious issue, I suppose, but Rowley had passed the ball backwards. It's gone backwards again. Goldsmith trying to claim it was knocked down, but panic play from Halifax.
Yeah, Goldsmith trying to get the offloading in heavy traffic. Poor ball. Farah fires the pass out, it misses Love and not, and it's gathered by Hunt, but he's well tackled by Marvin Golden again. It's getting through a mountain and working defence is the ex-Leeds Rhinos centre. Blakely, at first man, he steps, straightens up, looks for support, there's no one there. G puts it down, a shocking bit of play there by the Wolves, and Rowley puts it on the boot. The kick chase, but Penny's back. He's missed it, and Rowley's over for Blue Sox. A comedy of errors there. But Blakely looked for support, there was nobody there. He threw the ball back, G knocked on. Rowley put it on the toe. It looked like Lee Penny, all he had to do was to kick it out of the ground. He's missed the kick, and Rowley's over for a 4-pointer that puts the Blue Sox straight back in it, Darryl.
Well, I think Paul Rowley might see that as just rewards after having that decision against him. He was still on his feet and he passed the ball, standing in the tackle, but Warrington got the scrum. And the mistake there was act on. Referee quite rightly playing advantage, and it looked as though Penny might beat Rowley to the line, but the ball bounced away agonisingly for Penny, and Rowley scooted in under the post. A reply for Halifax and justified for Paul Rowley.
Yeah, you can look at it as justice, Darryl, but from Warrington's point of view, it was a reckless mistake, and something that Sam has been quite prominent in Warrington's game is some silly mistakes on defence. I'm sure they'll look to correct that now for the next 70 minutes of the game. Steve Blakely to restart for the Wolves, kicks it deep.
Well, about 15 minutes gone. There'll be no problem with value for money, because there's been some ferocious tackling, there's been some end-to-end play, and bits of individual charisma on show as well. Halifax drive it away. Nichow stopped Mercer in his tracks with a huge full-on head-on tackle. Rowley out to Talik, who's taking his place on the field. Not sure who's gone off. I'll have a look round. As Rowley has run riot again, found an opening and just couldn't get it away to Talik. The pass a little bit low.
Lee Penny regathers for the Wolves and offloads to Sibbett. It's the first tackle. Roper picks up and clears the lines for the Wolves. Rowley making some good yards for acting half. He's certainly a danger man in the Blue Sox line-up. Nutley, well met by Paul Rowley there, a good challenge. Langer, steps one, but he's well tackled though by Andrew Dunneman. No stranger to Langer, as Dunneman used to play for the North Queensland Cowboys. G at first man, straightens up, takes the tackle, settles play for the Wolves. Nichow, dummies, keeps so, looks for support, there's nobody there though, and it's last tackle. Nichow struggling to regain his feet. Langer at first man, crossfield kick, pressure on Ollie Marnes, takes it well though, does Oliver Marnes. A great take by Marnes there, defuses that bomb excellently under severe pressure from Sibbett, and it's Greg Florimo to clear the lines for the Blue Sox.
Well, good take by Marnes. Langer's had years of practice of putting in perfect kicks like that. Halifax driving forward with Mercer, and Kyle Talik has replaced David Foster, and Golden is still trying to go forward. Did well to keep hold of the ball there, looked like it was slipping from his grip, and the Wolves are pulled for offside. Quick play from Rowley, who's certainly causing problem within this Wolves defence. Dunneman switches back, then turns up to the right. Mercer in support. Halifax's player coach under the post. Well, Dunneman set off to the left, took the ball going left, went back to the right, set the mind of the Warrington defence going across that way, and then set off, saw a little gap down the middle, and Gary Mercer in support. Well, one of the easiest of tries for Gary Mercer, but down to Andrew Dunneman, and as I was saying earlier, giving him that little bit more room. Well, he had the room to run there, sent the Warrington defence over to the right, set up straight down the middle where the gap had appeared. Mercer knew what was going on, turned up in support, went under unopposed. Good try.
Yeah, it was a good try there by the Blue Sox. The difference at the moment between the two teams is probably the support play. Warrington have made the half breaks, but there's been nobody there in support, and it was poor defence there by the Wolves round the ruck. All Dunneman did was step off the left foot, straight and play up, came straight down the middle, and in support was Gary Mercer. Pearson's added the extras there for the Blue Sox. That makes the score Halifax 12, Warrington Wolves 6. The Blue Sox have replied in a great way, Darryl.
Well, one of the differences, I suppose, excluding the last 2 weeks, and certainly last week, is Halifax's ability to maintain the concentration and the effort for 80 minutes. Twice this season they've let big leads slip and they've come back into it. They didn't last week, but now here goes Bloom again. And Bloom's still going forward. Well, that's why Mercer wanted him in the forwards. And here goes Rowley again. And there's still shouts for offside there as Presley continues to move into the play of the ball, as referees seem to do, and it allows the defending side an extra metre, but it's not doing a lot for Warrington because Halifax are still pushing forward, going over the advantage line fairly easily at the moment. Florimo swapping over, Tallick going through, try time for Kyle Tallick, and Warrington's defence, well, I have to say, at the moment it looks like Halifax as did at Knowsley Road last week. Tile going through easily, but whether Halifax are driving forward as Bloom did, or they're throwing the ball about, they still seem to be moving forward and making great yards with each play of the ball.
They certainly are, Darryl. Warrington unable to control the play of the ball. Halifax got in a fantastic role there. But how about Jamie Bloom? What a run that was, Darryl.
Well, as you say, it's down to Bloom. He spent most of the season starting on the wing and then moved in to the forwards. But starting at loose forward, a key position, of course, along with stand-off. But Jamie Bloom is revelling in it, and he's realising, of course, that Warrington are dropping off the tackles, and he's taking full advantage. Pearson's most difficult kick of the evening is a failure, but at 16 points to 6, Halifax are looking the most competent of this side, and Gary Mercer up to now must have done quite a good job this week, picking up after the destruction at Knowsley Road last week.
The Wolves really need now a big set of 6 on defence. They need to control the play of the ball, keep the Blue Sox in their own 20-30 metre area, and then have a good set of 6 themselves.
Well, he's aimed it away from Jamie Bloom this time, and it's Mercer that will drive it forward. Andrew G up very quickly, good tackling inside the Halifax 20. Now it's Bloom again, and 3 men surround him this time and put him down. Nichow and Farrow were 2. I think Sibbett was the other. Marnes running back into trouble down a blind alley centre field. Rowley 2, Savelio. And Savelio's taking something out of this Warrington defence as he drives up to halfway. Halifax supporters have seen something there, and a close eye on Rowley from Andrew G there on halfway. Last tackle again signalled by Presley as Pearson launches it again towards Alan Hunt. Alan Hunt does well under pressure though.
Hunt does excellent there under pressure, but he's brought down by Golding. An infringement at the play of the ball, and a welcome penalty for Warrington Wolves. Hunt did fantastic then, defusing that bomb. Super League's leading try scorer at present, with Nathan McAvoy from the Bradford Bulls. Nutley, straight and true like he has done all season. 2 balls on the pitch though. Nutley will play the ball for the second time. G. Tackled by Pearson with the help of Jamie Bloom. Nickow. Straight down the middle, gets a great offload to Blakely, but he's put it down. The referee a little bit too quick on the whistle there. It could have been an advantage to the Blue Sox, Darryl.
Yeah, I think he'd already had it in his mind to blow for the forward pass before the ball was dropped. But I don't think Warrington had cared much for advantage after what happened last time. He'd be glad to see him pull them back, I think. Dunneman to Florimo. And Florimo unable to break through on that far side. Sibbert's tackle. Mercer, former Warrington player of course, began his career in this country at Warrington as a centre some years ago. Goal spink to Rowley, long ball out wide to Bloom. Bloom sets back off down where the heavy traffic is and doesn't find a way through it. There may be options on this side. Rowley again from acting half, unloads to Bloom and drew 2 defenders in. Bloom to Savelio, and Savelio running an out wide, but Halifax still making yards forward, and Jamie Bloom has obviously received a bit more attention than he'd like there. Well, he's back up again now. Pearson, well, the move was on, the pass to Golden wasn't the best, and Cardis is eyeing up the options, and if he can get under the big man, under the big forwards, he can do some damage. Last tackle again, Dunneman, little chip through on the floor, a little too much weight behind it. Well, I think he played on the far side.
Kick was well covered there by John Roper for the Wolves. Langer to restart play. Hunt looks for a quick play the ball but can't get one. Bloom controls it well. Not brings play to centre field for the Wolves, nearly to the 40-metre line. A lack of runners there, but Gisay picks it up, makes a couple of metres. 4th tackle coming up. Nickow queues up to take the drive. Langer takes it to the line, finds Knott. He straightens up, goes through Bloom, inside to Kovalov. He can't get the ball away though, it goes forward. And the Wolves again have failed to complete a set of 6. Kovalov tried to force the ball, maybe a little bit of panic football by the Wolves there. But it was a good passage of play. They've just been unable again to finish a set of 6, Darryl.
Yeah, and that's well, that's the basics of the game, isn't it? Possession, percentage rugby. But Warrington themselves, when they've got the ball, are making good inroads into the Halifax half of the field, and then seem to let it slip at the last minute. Halifax bringing it away again. Dunneman, short ball to set Florimo on his way, and Florimo disappeared under 2. Mercer broke through, going at full tilt there, Gary Mercer, and straight through the attempted tackle. Quick play again, Rowley bringing on Goldspink, and Halifax again making big yards over the advantage line with each tackle. Pearson, Dunneman again, cutting back inside, gets it away. Cardis was there, and Darryl Cardis is like a shadow on Andrew Dunneman. Last tackle again, Pearson, little chip through. This one could be awkward. Roper does well to pick it out of the air.
Roper does fantastic there, and he's off. John Roper. Tackle wasn't completed. Good play there by Roper. Blue Sox are now on the back foot. Oh, not forced the ball there. Been knocked down by Golden. The ball should have gone a little bit earlier by Ian Knott. But again, the Wolves are adventurous in the play. forcing the ball maybe a little bit too much. There's plenty of time left to get back into this game. Just look to have lost a little bit of the structure to the Wolves. Langer feeds the scrum, finds Kovalov, steps off the right foot, tries to go through Dunham but can't do so. Blakely to Sibbett, tries to go straight through Greg Florimo, but a good challenge by Florimo, and he's helped out by Jamie Bloom. Nutley takes play into the Blue Sox half. Langer at first man, takes it to the line, inside to Nickau. He looks for support, does to Nickau, but there's none there, and he can't get the ball away. Farah to Langer. Good ball there to Kovalov, he keeps hold. Gets a great ball away to Knott, gets it away to Nickau. To Blakely. Gets a good ball to Gise. He's put the ball down. Again, the Wolves have forced the pass. And again, they failed to complete the set of 6. So it's Blue Sox. They'll restart play through a scrum. Their head and feed.
A change for Warrington. Jerome Guisot being replaced by Steve McCurry. Halifax have also made a change with Andy Hobson replacing Lakini Savelio. Dunham round the outside, teasing the Warrington defence. Kovalov moves in to bring him down eventually. Gibson inside to Golden. Golden running up to the forwards, just short of the 40-metre line. Mercer not stepping through this one, but unloading to Goldspink. Halifax losing ground as Goldspink goes down to the smallest man on the Warrington side, Alan Langer. Bloom, more attention, and Bloom being driven back. And this is probably, up to now, Warrington's best set in defence, as they've kept Halifax in their own half. Last tackle. Dunham towards Penny. Well, Penny will take them all day, no pressure on him.
Great take there by Lee Penny. He straightens play up, tries to find a gap in the Halifax defence but can't do so. Langer at acting half, finds McCurry for his first drive of the night. Steps off the left foot, straightens up, gets a great offload away to Farah, but he's put it down.
Halifax players pointing for offside. Florimo moves into the stand-off position, and Warrington defending furiously to bring him down. Such a powerful man going forward. Marvin Golden uses the first line of defence as a handoff, then into Nickau. Mercer drops off, Rowley brings in Andy Hobson, and Hobson takes it over the Warrington 20. And Halifax pushing forward again. Goldspink trying to shoulder off the first man. 3 men there for the big Halifax prop. Pearson, Halifax have options and men over on this side. Florimo has Cardis running, steps back inside and gets it away to Tallick. Tallick gets rid and loses it backwards, says Steve Presley. And I think the hack-on was by Cardis, who just couldn't control it.
Picked up there by Kovalov, and it's Hunt who's trying to clear the line for the Wolves. McCurry offloads to Sibbett, tries to go through Florimo, but good defence there from the Australian veteran. McCurry straightens play up for the Wolves, makes good yards. Missed last week's victory over the Rhinos. He gets a good play of the ball there though, does McCurry. G looks for support, but there's nobody there. And it's last tackle. Wolves will look for a 40-20, and Langer steps out the 40 though. Kicks it downfield. They'll hope that'll stay in, and it's been chased back there by Ollie Marnes. Marnes picks up. Langer brings the defence up for the Wolves, and a good tackle there by Langer. Followed his kick up well.
Well, he did. First man there after the kick, Langer. And it was an excellent kick which stopped on the Halifax try line, forcing Marnes to play it. Golden can't make the 20. Good tackling from Farrett and Nutley. Gibson, a first real run of the evening for Damien Gibson, back after that fractured cheekbone. Mercer round the outside, first tackler drops off again. I think it was Langer. Last tackle. Pearson aims it in the air for Pennant. Cardi's chasing after Pennant, but Pennant safe as houses again underneath the high ball.
Yeah, Pearson certainly employed a great kicking game so far. Roper, straight down the middle. Good run there by the Wolves winger, John Roper. Langer takes it to the line. Has he got runners? He finds not inside, he straightens up. No for the line, he's got Cole in support. Cole up for the corner. Can he make it? Yes, he does. Great try there by Warrington Wolves. Great try by the Wolves. Some good quick play of the balls. Langer took it to the line. Good inside ball to Knott. And for the first time tonight, Knott had support when he bust the Blue Sox line. And Kovalov there finished with a try in the corner for the Wolves. They close the gap to 4 points. Strikes it well, but puts it across the face of the posts. And that makes the score Halifax 16, Warrington 10. The Blue Sox now about to bring on their impact player. Martin Moana has come off the bench. He's replaced Brett Goldspink, who's had a great first half for the Blue Sox. He's attracted about 3 or 4 men to every tackle as Goldspink and made some great quick play of the balls as well. Roper now for the Wolves. Steps off the right foot, but it goes down under a posse of Halifax players. McCurry tries to go through the Blue Sox defence but can't do so. Langer looks for runners through G, but he finds not again. He fires a great ball out to Kovalov. He gets a good ball out to Knott. Hunt goes round Jamie Bloom. Hunt for the corner. He's got Farrer in support. He doesn't need Danny Farrer. What a great tackle though by Pearson. But he's play on, he gets it down. He waves play on. And Alan Hunt is in for his 7th try of Super League. The tackle wasn't completed. And a fantastic try there by Alan Hunt. Great play there by the XGB wingman. What a great try, Darryl.
Well, it was superb pace from Hunt, hugged the touchline all the way down. And the only man that had a chance of stopping him was Cardis. He brushed him aside. The previous 2 attempted tackles came from Mercer and Bloom. And they were always on a loser trying to race Alan Hunt down the touchline.
Yeah, the referee was in a great position. But I tell you what, if Alan Hunt would have bombed that try, I fear after the game Danny Farrer might have had to give him a good beating because he was up there in support all the way through, Darryl. And he elected not to pass. I think he had Velcro on his hands. And it's lucky he got that try. Blakely with the extras. He gets him, he takes the Wolves into the lead. Great kick by Steve Blakely. And that makes the score Warrington Wolves 18, Halifax 16, just before half time. 16 apiece, sorry. 16 apiece. I never did get me maths GCSE, Darryl. It's 16 apiece. And the Wolves now need to have a good set of 6 just before half time. They conceded a lot of tries in this last few minutes of the half. They need a good 6 here. Pearson kicks it deep. Looks like he might have found touch. It's over the head of Hunt. And it has found touch. A terrible mistake by the Wolves. A terrible mistake. Great kick by Pearson. And the Blue Sox have got a chance to take the lead just before half time, Darryl.
Well, it's interesting that Gary Mercer has opted to take Darryl Cardis off, who really has struggled to stop the last 2 tackles. He moved Gibson to fullback and Naylor onto the wing. But I also think he might have taken a few knocks as well. And no point making it any worse for the fullback when he's got capable men playing around him. Good ball from Bloom to Mercer. Mercer tries to shrug off Nickow and can't do so. Presley screaming at the Warrington defence to get back 10 metres. Florin. Farrer sliding down in the tackle. Halifax looking to reclaim the lead before half time. Pearson to Moana. And Hobson trying to push defenders away. Good tackling from Langer. Tallick looking for a second. Warrington defenders going upstairs and managing to stop him. Tallick looking to play it quickly. Mercer went on the run, Pearson got the pass. Last tackle on the Warrington 10. Rowley from acting half, out to Dunneman. Numbers on that far side. Dunneman's gone for the kick for which Marnes should be chasing, but it's come off a Warrington player. Went backwards, says referee Steve Presley.
Fortunate bounce there for the Wolves. Roper goes down to him, Roper's away. Can he go past Jamie Bloom? No, he can't. Good cover tackle there by Jamie Bloom, but another good run by John Roper. McCurry inside to Sibbett. Good hands there by the Wolves. Sibbett can't get the ball away. Sibbett plays the ball. Langer to Nickow. Nickow inside to Nutley. Oh, but a good tackle there by Talick there for the Blue Sox. Farrer. Poor ball there by Farrer, but it's picked up by Nott. He decides to straighten up, but it's put down by Gary Mercer. Coey Love now in an acting half. He finds Langer. Langer with a kick. Puts it up in the air. Gibson, he's only just moved to full back, but he takes... Oh no! He's put it down! He's put it down, has he? Gibson has only just moved to full back. Langer spotted that well and put up a good bomb. Think he may have lost it in the lights, Darrell, there, Gibson.
Well, possibly, but it looked as the way the ball was coming down as though it might have been swirling about a little bit and caught him at the last minute as he moved backwards. Of course, the ball stops dead and then he moved forward. I don't think he was in the most comfortable of positions to start with, but it's given Warrington a chance to steal the lead for the first time in this game before half-time.
Yeah, the Wolves have got a fantastic opportunity now with this steady six. Langer to feed the scrum. Goes from the base of the scrum. Finds Blakely. Blakely tries to step Dunneman, but a good tackle there by Dunneman on his opposite number. Thought Langer might have gone himself there. He's in acting half now. He finds G, who steps off the left foot. Looks for an offload, but can't get it away. Good scrambling defence there by the Blue Sox. Farrer in acting half. Inside to McCurry. He straightens up. Tries to go through Dunneman, but can't do so. Can't get the ball away neither. And he's put down there eventually, Steve McCurry. Langer takes it to the line. Inside to Nutley. Is it going over Danny Nutley for the line? He's just held up short. Coey Love there, sniffing for the try. Farrer gets a good ball away to Langer, but he puts it down. But Martin puts it on the boot. He's gone forward though. What will the referee judge? He's gone for the first knock on. And the Wolves there look to have bombed a great opportunity just before half-time, Darrell. A poor pass out there by Farrer to Langer, and Langer was unable to keep hold of the ball. Opportunity gone begging there for the Wolves, Darrell.
Yeah, but great defence from Halifax on their own line. Warrington have scored long-range tries, so they've not really mounted that sort of pressure on close quarters to the Halifax line, but Halifax were up to the task. They went close in Warrington, not close enough, and I'm not sure Martin Moana took the right option in trying to kick that ball forward, but Warrington had already knocked on. Nearly a mistake from Florimore there. Arts in Miles' time there. Halifax supporters. Good step from Gibson. Penny coming across, keeping a close eye on him. Warrington have no fullback at this stage, and late in the game, well, they have now. Nutley dropped to fullback. Rob forward, standing in there. Mercer driving forward. Good tackling. Nutley, Mercer knocking on the centre spot, and that might just the scrum might just see out the first half.
Well, Darrell, it looks like the Blue Sox have caught the Wolves' disease and not finishing the sets of six. Mercer there choking possession up. Langer to feed the scrum, the Wolves now looking to go into lead just before half-time, possibly a kick and chase. But Coey Love steps through the weak challenge there of number 3 it was, Damien Gibson. But the hooter signals the end of the half. 16-all, and it's been a great half, Darrell, very exciting.
Well, it has, it's been brilliant. Warrington started, as they've started the season really, very slowly to get into the stride. Didn't complete the sets of 6, as you say. And Rowley, who'd been penalised for well, nobody really knows. He stood in the tackle, released the ball, but a couple of minutes later he was racing on after the ball was hacked on from a Warrington mistake under the post. Pearson with a conversion at 6-0, and then Dunneman throwing the Warrington defence and creating the opening for Gary Mercer under the post. Pearson again converting at 12-0, and then good movement of the ball from Halifax. Talek in at the corner, 16 points. Warrington scored in the first half, the try from Parrott, the conversion from Steve Blakely. Halifax leading 6 points to 6, looking comfortable. Warrington, the ball started sticking. They hadn't had much pressure on the Halifax line, but they didn't need it because Flyers, Coylove and Alan Hunt got a try apiece from movements deep into Warrington half. Blakely could only convert one, but it's enough for Warrington to be back in this game at half time. Halifax Blue Sox 16, Warrington Wolves 16.
Well, Steve Presley here waiting for the Blue Sox to take the field. Here they come to a rapturous round of applause. I'm just looking for any changes in the Wolves side. Doesn't appear to be any for Warrington Wolves. The scores are all tied at 16 all. And what do you reckon the words of wisdom would have been, Darryl, by Gary Mercer at half time?
Well, I think he'll be wanting Halifax to play more like they did in the first 20 minutes of the first half. It's proves how much notice I take. It's been pointed out that although on our team sheets David Foster's down in the second row, Gail Talek actually started, and it's Mike Peters that's on the bench for the Halifax Blue Sox.
Well, Darryl will just give you a chance to catch your breath. It's lucky Warrington have got the ball for this first set of 6 in the first half. Hunt straightens up, finds Penny. He looks to pass but keeps hold, and is well tackled there by Greg Florimo. McCurry up the short side, tries to go straight through Dunneman and does. Stands in the tackle, there's no support there for the Wolves. He's brought down in the end is McCurry by Ollie Marnes. Nick Howe, hard and true, gets a good offload away to Farrer. He stands in the tackle, gets one odds away to Blakely. And the Wolves have started this second half like they finished the first. The ball's like a hot potato, they're just trying to keep it alive all the time. Last tackle. Good first set of 6 for the Wolves, who've actually completed 6. A feat in itself for the team. Good kick by Langer, but it's fielded there by Jim Naylor.
Well, Warrington have done well in the first set of 6, pushing Halifax back into their own quarter. Gibson stepping into 3. Mercer. Well, Mercer trying to run forward. Good tackling from Farrell. Struggled to get up after that last run of the ball. Good drive from Hobson, gets it to Rowley. Rowley unloads to Dunneman. Options being closed down as Warrington defenders moving on Andrew Dunneman. Just inside the Warrington half. Back to Florimo. Florimo turns it inside to Talek. He takes it over the 40. So Halifax have returned the ball back towards the Warrington half. Last tackle as Pearson launches it towards Roper. Well, Roper ran into his own man, shouts for offside. I don't think it was deliberate by any means.
No, another good take there by John Roper. Sibbett in acting half, the youngster from St Jude's, comes up the short side and takes it to the 20-metre line for the Wolves. Nick Howe receives the pass off Roper. Tries to step through Florimo and does so, keeps going forward. Still going is Nick Howe. Needs a good quick play of the ball here. Can't get one though. G keen to take it up. Good drive there by Andrew G, but good defence from the Blue Sox. Farrer in acting half, finds Langer, looks for a 40-20. Will he get it? Ollie Marnes is back there for the Blue Sox. Sorry, Jim Naylor it is. They both got bald heads, these guys. I was confused there. But the referee's on, the touch is on. Sorry. The touch judge is on. It looks like he's seen something there, Darryl.
Yeah, well, Jim Naylor. Jim Naylor, still very little experience in Super League. He's getting more and more minutes as the weeks progress. Brought on a little earlier in this particular game, and I don't think they'll be seeing anything more of Darryl Cardis. Took some big hits in that first half, did Cardis. Struggling a bit. Good tackling on Mercer from Nutley and Farrett. Bloom looking for a way through. They've kept a close eye on Bloom since he made that brilliant run in the first half. Now Moana, big things expected by his own admissions. I think he'll tell you he's not at his best form so far this season, but the sort of man that when he does it for can break a game, and this one more than any at the moment needs to be broken at 16 points all. Good ball from Donovan to Florimo. Good tackling again. The Warrington defence by Ian Sibbott. Last tackle, Donovan gets the kick away just before Blakely gets there. Pearson took a shove in the back. Good take from Alan Hunt.
Fantastic take there by Alan Hunt. Superb. He's having a great game tonight, is Hunt. Penny to clear lines for the Wolves. Tries to go through Rowley but can't do so. Blakely in acting half. 3 Wolves forwards queuing to take the ball up. It's Nicholl though who gets it. Tries to go through Donovan. Does. Gets a good offload away to Roper, but he puts it down. No need to force the ball, but it was a good offload and Roper's put it down. If he'd have gathered that though, Darrell, it could have been trouble for the Blue Sox.
Well, Roper has been known to score a try or two, and the man that normally plays on the wing, Mark Forster, has scored many a try against Halifax. Roper, of course, is a devastating centre and standoff who Malcolm Reilly went to watch when he played for Barrow Island as a junior. But he's made the mistake, and Donovan has received attention, and Pearson will feed the scrum. Florimo moved to stand off, brings in Marvin Golden, but the defence moving in and sticking to him. Golden pushed to the ground. Halifax have made no yardage forward. To be an offside now, and Gibson's gone for the quick tap. Gibson towards the post. Brought down a metre away. Good play from Gibson. I'm not sure it'll come as the right decision. Donovan over the top to Oliver Marnes, and the pass has been ruled forward by Steve Presley. Well, Presley's in a better position than we are to see that, and so is his touch judge. And although Damien Gibson's run nearly brought the try, I'm not sure at 16 points all that that would have been the decision of captain Greg Florimo in a kickable position for Pearson.
Yeah, Blue Sox gambled, it nearly paid off. The Wolves were led off there. Knott tries to step through the challenge there to Mercer, but Mercer slams Ian Knott down with the help of Martin Moana. Good defence. Nicholl, the game now reaching boiling point. Nicholl gets a good play of the ball. G to Blakely. It's well tackled there. It's Blakely by Greg Florimo. Farrer uses the short side through Andrew G. Tries to go through Hobson. Can't do so though. Hobson sticks to him like glue. Messes about at the play of the ball. Wolves don't get the penalty though. Langer steps Rowley. Kicks it straight down the throat of Damien Gibson, who fields this one well. Gibson to the middle of the park. Tries to go round Ian Knott. Can't do so though, and he's brought down with the help of Toakoa Love.
Jim Naylor split through 4. Race on with Penny. Naylor has the pace. Steps inside. Good thinking. Marnes has turned up on the opposite side of the field. Good play from Naylor. New is being run down towards the touchline. Step through 4 defenders. Halifax have moved it wide but don't have the numbers, so Donovan will take it back inside. Mercer, his way is blocked by 2. Nicholl 1 and Andrew G the other. Bloom from acting half. Tempting the Warrington defence, gives it to Marnes, but Marnes has nowhere to go and be lucky if he gets away there, and he doesn't as he disappears under 3. Pearson. Out to Donovan. Donovan stepping back inside again. Donovan's found an opening and loses possession.
Yeah, it was a good step there off the left foot from Andrew Donovan, but he's knocked on. The Wolves come away through Toakoa Love. A great ball there to Roper. Roper straightens up. Gets a good ball away to Sibbott. He's through Bloom. Sibbott, is he away? No, he's brought down there by Gary Mercer. Good play there. Langer takes it to the line. Looks for runners. There's no one there. Inside to Danny Farrer. He's brought down there by Jamie Bloom. Bloom controls the play of the ball well. Blakely tries to inject himself into the game. Steps one, steps two. Straightens up. There's no support there though for Blakely. Nichow to Langer. He takes it to line, shows it inside. Tries to hit and spin off Andy Hobson, but he's brought down. Last tackle. The Wolves just on the Blue Sox 20-metre line. Nichow. Show ball to Toa Koalov. He gets the ball away to Nichow. Nichow to Farah. Inside to McCurry. McCurry puts it on the toe, and it's been kicked dead there by Martin Pearson. A great set of six there for the Wolves. Great excitement here at the Shea, Darrell.
Yeah, I was questioning Ollie Marnes. He was left marking too many and kept with Roper and not the winger. But the tackle from Mercer coming from nowhere on Sibbett to bring him down. Although that's not helped Halifax's cause, because they're gonna have to absorb another 6 Warrington tackles. Dunham will kick out from under the post.
And Dunham it is. Kicks it deep. Great kick there by Dunham. Penny fields it though. Brings play back centre field. Hits and spins away from Andy Hobson, but he's brought down by Jamie Bloom. Penny looks a little bit groggy there. Feels that he didn't play the ball right. G hits and spins off one. Still standing in the tackle is Andrew G. Can't get the ball away though. Blakely takes it to the line, gives it Nichow inside. Blakely, is he through? Finds Sibbett. It's brought down by Ollie Marnes with the help of Gibson. Gets a quick play the ball. Langer to Farah, looks for runners. He finds Koalov. Can't get the ball away. Great tackle there by Jim Naylor. He might not have played much Super League, but he made a great tackle. Hunt steps off the left. Slash tackle, centre field. 10 metres away now from the Blue Sox line. Langer takes it to the line. Finds the ball out to not. To Koalov. He's in for his second try tonight. The Wolves take the lead. And the Blue Sox just couldn't hold out for the second consecutive set of 6. And it was good play there by the Wolves. Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head there, Darrell. Pointing to Warrington's ability to control the play of the ball. Blakely from out wide, strokes it well, strokes it very well indeed. He adds the extras, and that makes the score. Warrington 22, Halifax Blue Sox 16, and a great conversion attempt there by Steve Blakely. Successful with the extras. Blue Sox look to have made a change. Gail Tallitt's come off. Goldsping's back on. Langer takes Pearson's kick, finds Andrew G, brings play out well, does G. Is eventually brought down by Jim Naylor. Nichow. Good run there by Nichow. Wolves look to have a full head of steam here. All offside there, surely, referee. Nothing's been given though. Blakely straightens up. He's away, Blakely. Tries to go round Gibson but can't do so. No support there for the little fella. Langer takes it to the line. Shows it inside to McCurry. He stands in the tackle and gets the ball away to Langer. He gives it to Nutley, who straightens it up centre field. The Wolves now are running hot. Can they get another 4-pointer? Langer coming more and more into the game. Finds it out to G, who in turn finds it out to Koalov. Steps off the right foot. He's put down though. Again, the Wolves have kept hold of it for a full 6. Langer at first man. Crossfield kick. Pressure on here. Fielded there. Oh, it's been put down. It was knocked down by Sibbett. It looked like McCurry was going to field it, but Florimo was knocked on. And again, the Blue Sox are going to do it tough. And he's crunched over the top by Jamie Bloom. Straightens it up. Can't go through Goldspink. Oh, Jamie Bloom. Bloom having a great game tonight. Made a successful switch from the backs to the pack. Langer takes it to the line, inside to G. He dummies Hunt, straightens up. Andrew G for the line. Just brought down a couple of metres short. Gets a quick play the ball, Farrer on his own. He's over for his second try of the night, no. He's held up just short. Langer in an acting half, doesn't trust G standing there. Blakely, steps again, but good scramble in defence there by the Blue Sox. Nichow They look to have the numbers to the Blue Sox. He puts it through. And the Wolves fail to come over try. And good defence there, Darryl, by the Blue Sox to keep him out.
Well, they were under pressure. They came up with the goods. Hobson with the first drive. Only allowed to make 3 or 4 metres. Ferocious Warrington defence. Now Mercer unloads on the floor. Hobson picks it up, gets it away to Marvin Golden. Golden looks for a way back this side, doesn't find one. And Halifax haven't made any ground. And Warrington are offside now. Goldspinkel's back on for Talik, adding an extra few pounds to that Halifax pack and making his way up to the halfway line. Pearson to Dunneman. Dunneman passes this time to Moana. But Moana is watched closely on halfway by the Warrington defence. Bloom. 1-on-1. Managed to brush Nicow away. 2 reinforcements for Nicow though. Last tackle, Dunneman. Testing Penny. No Cardis to chase. But Penny good under pressure again. But Halifax Jiu-Jitsu are being offside.
Great take there by Lee Penny. The Blue Sox have undone all the good work by being adjudged to be inside the 10. Farrell looks to be struggling in back play, and Langer's gone to acting half. Nutley. He's having a great game, Danny Nutley. As is the whole of the front row, like they have done for the whole of Super League. Big screens for forward pass, but G took it on the advantage line and got a good ball away to the supporting Lee Penny. Blakely looks for McCurry inside. Ball goes down. Does well to drop on it there, does Steve Blakely. No forward pass given or knock on. Sibbett to Langer. Face ball to Nutley. It's through Danny Nutley. It's been ripped out 1-on-1, but it's been given a knock on. Thought it might have been adjudged to have been ripped out. I thought Nutley there was through. But he's adjudged to have knocked the ball on and a let off there for the Blue Sox, Darryl. They're under the cosh at the moment.
Well, I think a let off, but he's not spotting the forward passes. Always get a bit of favouritism from the supporters, but I think there's 1 or 2 that haven't been pulled up as Mercer rushes Farrer away and Nutley moves in quickly. Hobson on the short ball, driving into the Warrington defence. Great run by Andy Hobson. Gets up and plays it quickly. Goldspink, second run from the other Halifax prop, taking it on another 10. Halifax need a score, need it badly. Florimo, long pass out to Dunneman. Dunneman comes back inside again, running into trouble across the face of the Warrington defence. And that looked as though it may have been going high towards Dunneman. Last tackle. Florimo will chip through on the floor and chase. Pressure on Alan Hunt. Can Halifax keep him over his try line? Ball squeezes out, but Warrington have been given another penalty.
Presley was right on the spot there. He was in a great position. Much to the dislike of the Halifax fans, but Presley was in a great position there to give that penalty. Low to be free in the tackle. And now for the last 2 sets of 6, Halifax have been penalised on the last tackle. Nutley takes it up hard and strong, hits and spins out of the challenger Pearson and makes a good 15 metres. G tries to bounce off Pearson, but Pearson's there again. Not now. Breeze gets a big boo there off the Blue Sox faithful. Not forgot last year's incident where Jamie Bloom got a 3-month ban for feeling a little bit hungry and sinking his teeth into Lee Breeze, allegedly. Well pointed out there, Darryl. Last tackle now for the Wolves. Good set of 6. Langer gets a good ball away to Breeze. His first catch of the night. He puts up a towering bomb. Sibbitt's there. He's pushed him there though, Sibbett. There was no need to do that. Bad discipline there by the Warrington youngster. And the Blue Sox there get the call. Much to the joy of the Blue Sox faithful, I would say, Darryl.
Well, it is, but That's only Halifax's second penalty of the evening, I make it. Warrington have had 6. And you've got to start asking questions when a team penalised twice on the 5th tackle on the try line. Mercer loses it. No question about that one.
No, there's certainly no question about that. It looks like Florimo's struggling here, Darrell, in back play.
Well, yeah, I think you'll find it looks like that. Andrew Dunham's a little bit the same, although Andrew Dunham has genuinely been struggling with a leg injury and admitted himself he probably hasn't been right the last couple of weeks. Certainly showed last week, but I think if you give either of them the ball, the injury suddenly disappears.
Certainly does, Darrell. The adrenaline takes over. Again, Presley there having a chat with Hobson and G, but they've both shown great enthusiasm for knocking hell out of each other in the front row. It's been a great battle up there. Langer now to Nutley. He's had a great game, Nutley. He's there again. Great yard by Danny Nutley. Wolves use the short side. Farah Dummy's not, decides to keep hold. Makes good yards. Cole Love there at acting half. Finds Langer. He finds Nickau. Nickau stands in the tackle, tries to get the ball away but can't do so. The Wolves just outside the Blue Sox 20. G keeps hold. Nothing on. Straightens up his last tackle. Will the Wolves go for the drop goal? No. Langer elects to run. Chips through. It's fielded there by Gibson. He goes round McCurry. Gibson's through. Gibson's free, sorry, but he can't get round his opposite number, Lee Penny. Ollie Mans tries to go round Sibby but can't do so.
Well, Gibson suffering a little bit of cramp. There you go, about the injury with Florimo. Florimo racing away from Roper and Penny. Penny gets back. And if that's not holding down, I don't know what is. Slowed the ball down there with Florimo, did Penny. Held him down as he was getting up. Halifax move it to the other side. Bloom on the inside. Bloom. Great ball away from Jamie Bloom. And I think that's Martin Pearson who went like a prop forward towards that Warrington line. It is in fact Dunham. 3-on-1 here. Florimo taking the wrong option. But he's no need to. He's got out of the tackle. Well, you said Florimo looked injured. Well, he is now. As he went over for that try, I thought he'd taken the wrong option. And I think most of these Halifax support thought he had. With Mans on the outside, he was being forced towards the touchline, and the tackler just dropped off. And Florimo, with immense strength, forcing his way over. But Pearson's run earlier looked like a prop forward as he motored into the Warrington defence, unlucky not to score himself. But that left Warrington wanting on the outside. And Florimo, when it looked like he took the wrong option, tackler dropped off. 4 points. Well, so much for Florimo looking injured there, Adam.
Like you said, Florimo looked to have taken the wrong option, Darrell. But he powered his way over when Breeze really should have finished the tackle off. Pearson it is now, looking to tie the scores up. Strikes it well, but he's missed it. He's put it just across the face of the post. And Pearson has missed it. But it's certainly an exciting game here at the Shea. This is what Super League's all about. Fast and furious. The Wolves just ahead by 22 points to 20. There can't be long left in the game now, Darrell. 15 minutes there is. Mercer takes it for Blue Sox. Good drive. He tries to run through Nickau but bounces off.
Well, Mercer reliably normally bounces off the first man as Mans cuts inside. Warrington doing well to keep hold of him. Halifax have numbers out on that left-hand side, stacking men up. Bloom came off the short ball. Dunham turns it back inside to Moana. Moana off to Hobson. And Hobson wrapped up by Nickau and McCurry. Rowley to Florimo. Florimo steps through the first tackle again. Looks to go through the second. Great ball to Pearson. And Rowley just can't keep hold of it. Well, Rowley stopped the play, but Pearson Perfect ball to Paul Rowley, you would have thought, but the hooker just unable to hold it. And there wouldn't have been any betting against him scoring if he'd have got hold of it, because he's not short of pace.
He certainly isn't short of pace, is Paul Rowley. The Wolves come up with the ball though, and it's G settling things down for Warrington. No penalty given there for lying on. McCurry. Good drive there by Steve McCurry, but he's put down again by that man, Jamie Bloom. Must have covered every blade of grass out there. Langer, short ball to Sibbett. Runs a good line there, does he, in Sibbett. Good running there from the youngster. Langer in arc and half. Finds Breers. He straightens up, Breers. Steps again and again. Gets the ball away to Langer. Langer for the line. Oh, there's nobody there in support though. Gets a good play of the ball, McCurry. Can he crash over McCurry? Oh, that man's there again, Greg Florimo. He's certainly imposing himself in the game now, Darryl.
Well, he's gone from strength to strength again. He's got up slowly. But Florimo, since you mentioned that injury, as most players do, make you look a bit silly sometimes. He's scored the try. He's got the interception. And there was an almighty cheer there when Bloom threw Breers to the ground. Breers going high on the tackle. On goal spink. Warrington trying to restrict Halifax. Moving it out wide again, but the Warrington sliding defence has got across there to meet Golden. He shrugged away from two. And then straightens up. Last tackle. Good set of six in defence. Pearson, well, it was inside the 40, but it's not going to go past Alan Hunt in that one. Needs a good chase. Hunt's come inside. I thought he might have gone outside with the pace that he's got.
Yeah, I thought Hunt might have used Lee Penny, but he's decided not to. Kolov scoops up in one hand. The Wolves making a change here. Chambers is on, replacing Andrew G. Just what the Wolves might need now, some fresh legs. He was there in support of Kolov, but Love couldn't get the ball away. Nick Howe. Harden straight down the middle. Steps through one, but can't step through two. Chambers, his first touch of the night. Tries to go through Jamie Bloom, but can't do so. It's last tackle. What can Langer do here? It's a knock on there by Chambers. Was the interference how they play the ball, I wonder. But it's not been given. And they let off for the Blue Sox there. They get that call, Darryl.
Well, they're facing constant pressure. Halifax, they've spent a lot of time in this second half in their own half of the field. They've had to absorb a lot of pressure, they've had to do a lot of tackling, but it's been effective at the moment. Naylor can't get away from Cowie Love. 12 metres out from the front of the Halifax post. Mercer will drive it up off Dunneman's pass. Good tackling, flop there from Chambers on Mercer. Goldspink playing in the centre position. Dunneman to Pearson. Halifax moving it out wide again. Into the line comes Florimo. Good tackling again. Golden up from acting half, looking for a little bit of a gap. Warrington defenders drawing straws there to see who made the tackles. He stood off Golden a little bit. And they force him back to halfway. Last tackle. Pearson to Dunneman. Dunneman has got his kick away despite the pressure from Chambers. No pressure on Penny, and Penny does well to take that one.
He's through, Lee Penny! He's through! Can he move? He's going all the way! Man's in hot pursuit! He's brought down though, can he get a quick play of the ball? He's fighting for the ball! He's got one, Simmons for the line! Gives it to Langer, to Chambers! It's Chambers over! Oh, he's held up just short, Chambers! Langer tries to step, but he's smashed to the ground by Rowley. Breers straightens up, Breers again. Breers for the line. Can't get the ball away though, Lee Breers. Has he cocked it up? No, he's not. Barra to Langer. Inside, so head high, but McCurry's over. It's over, Steve McCurry. Superb try. The referee stopped play. What's he going to give? He's over to the touch judge. Is it a forward pass? What's he going to give here? Suspense of the shea. Langer with a characteristic inside ball to Steve McCurry. But the try's not been given. McCurry rode a high shot. What's happening? It looks to be no try. Looks to be a forward pass. No, it's ruled out they were offside, so he's not played advantage. He's given a penalty for the head high. He's not played advantage. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable here. Breeze fires the ball out to Nickau. He straightens up, but he's put to the ground there. On his back. Blue Sox slow to play the ball down. Barra to Chambers. Can't get the ball away, can Gary Chambers. Langer at first man. Gives the ball to Breers. There's nothing there for him though, he's been locked up. He's been tackled by Jamie Bloom. Langer takes it to the line, steps inside to Hunt. Looks to be another head-high shot there by Savelio, but nothing's been given. Couple of tackles left. Can the Wolves force the way over? Langer to Breers. Breers chips through. Looks to have been brought down. Gibson takes it. He gets round him. The touch is on. The touch judge is on. Gibson looked to be clear. He was away with Damien Gibson, but the touch judge is on. Was Breeze taken out after the kick? It looked like Breeze was taken out after he kicked. Yes, he was. The decision's gone the Wolves' way, and Blue Sox will again do it tough on defence. The Wolves are going for goal. Deciding not to run it this time. And the decision there, gone the Wolves' way. It looked like Breeze was taken out after he kicked it. What do you think, Darryl?
Well, I think it's a bit cruel to say, all right, the tackle wasn't in a lower area, but I think Halifax had already been cheated by Breers allegedly once last season, and an earlier example when Ollie Miles had the ball, took a high tackle and went down, no penalty given. But how ironic, I know Warrington are winning 20, well at the moment 22-20, but how ironic if Breers should be the man that kicks the goal, the last points. But I think Halifax have been hard done by two penalties pressuring the Warrington line, and they find themselves being given 6-12 tackles.
There's about 5 minutes left. That successful penalty attempt by Breers stretched the Wolves' lead to 4 points. Pearson goes for a short one, he puts it up high. It's successful, Bloom slaps it down. Savelio takes it, and the Wolves are under all types of pressure now. Rowley to Martin Moana. He shifts it to Pearson, he tries to go round Langer. He does so, he goes round Love, but he can't go round Alan Hunt.
Halifax pushing forward in a last desperate attempt. Naylor stepping through almost. Halifax looking to get the way back up into the third spot. Dunneman, that was round the edge, surely on Dunneman. Throws a speculator away, picked up by Gibson. Gibson tackled well by the Warrington defence. Mercer towards the post. Mercer gets one away to Dunneman. 4-3, Florimo chips through, comes off Breers, and Breers is pushed over the touchline as the ball comes back into the Halifax half. Picked up by Mann, slips the first, Oliver Mann, then goes back into the Warrington half. Good play from Mann. And Bloom was attracted to Breers like a magnet then. Halifax pushing forward again. They need the try under the post to be certain of the 6 points. Savelio shrugs off Nick Howe. Nick Howe goes back for another attempt. They said he used the elbow. Well, some people did. Moana, game breaker, not this time, as he's brought down 10 metres away. Halifax sacking men on this side. Florimo won't go for the kick this time, steps back inside, gives it to Mercer. Mercer unloads one that goes backwards. Goal spink to Marnes, stepping one, Marnes looking for a gap, running into trouble. Last tackle. Halifax needs something special on this Warrington line. Dunneman, will he chip through? Over the top. Could be an awkward bounce. There's a man taken out there under the post. There's an Halifax man laid under the post who was chasing after the ball. Must be something here for Halifax, surely. Well, what can you say about that? That's disgusting from Steve Presley. Halifax player Martin Moana going for the ball on the cross kick, taken out under the post. Nothing at all coming from Presley. Absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you what, Martin Moana, nothing was given. He took a dive there like Peter Schmeichel. He could be enacting with a dive like that, Martin Moana. And the Blue Sox, ill-disciplined. Lee Penny fielded a kick. He actually fielded it on the full in his own goal area. But the referee didn't give it a 20-metre restart. And instead the Wolves are able to come out with a penalty and bring the play out through Chambers. He looks to take a high shot, but he keeps holding, nothing's been given. Busby steps off the right foot, just come on the field from the Couriers team, Busby. Not long left. Nutley, played a full 80 minutes is Danny Nutley. Can he get a quick play of the ball? He does so. Banner scoots down the middle, steps off the right, still going. Langer's through. Oh no, he's not, he's brought down by Gibson. Can the Wolves stretch the lead? Breers to the line. It's through. Breers is through. And guess who he's gone round? He's gone round Jamie Bloom. And the Wolves look to have travelled to Yorkshire and come away with the 2 points for Super League. The first away win of the season for Warrington Wolves in Super League. And a great try by Lee Breers. Darryl, what's your view of the incidents?
Well, not only Moana, but Dunneman took an edge shot as he tried to release the ball when he threw the speculator away. Halifax had thrown everything into attack and were struggling to get back into defence. But it's cruel on Halifax that they've surrendered possession and been penalised twice on the Warrington line, and yet an incident clearly where Moana's obstructed has given nothing, and all Steve Presley's do. The worst thing now is that it's been talked about before, there's that many officials looking after this game that none of them will put themselves in the position. They get on Sky in the big screen, they put it on report. The guy's there stood behind the post, his two linesmen, there's another referee up here, and yet he sees, well, some see things they want and some see things they don't.
Well, Darryl, it looks like your hair's on fire. He's certainly got a bit of aggression up. Get off that soapbox, Darryl. The decisions haven't gone the Blue Sox way, but they have gone the Wolves. Breers adds the extras. That makes the score Warrington 30, Blue Sox 20. And it looks like the Wolves might come away from Yorkshire with the 2 points for Super League. That'll take him to joint fifth position. Pearson again with a short kick-off, pulls it up. Been put down. And Mans is away. Inside to goal spin. Oh, but it's been ruled a knock-on. It's been ruled a knock-on. It's been ruled a knock-on by the Blue Sox. I'm having to put my arm round Darryl as he looks like he might jump off the gantry. But it's been ruled a knock on. And the Wolves have come away there. Fortunately, they've been done 3 times with a short kick-off. I'm trying to keep a straight face, but I can't. Daryl's on fire here next to me. It's lucky I've got the mic, otherwise he'd be turning the air blue. For me, Steve Presley's had a fantastic game. He's such, he's up there with the top performers. And that's why he's got the Murrayfield final. He's had a good game. It's Kovalov who brings the ball away for the Wolves, just outside the 20. Roper injects himself into the game there with a characteristic burst. But he's brought down by Jamie Bloom. Chambers, up the short side. Has a good gallop there, does Gary Chambers. Not. Good run there by Ian Knott. The Wolves look to shut up shop. McCurry's on for Danny Nutley. He's not made a full 80 minutes. They're giving the kiss of death. So hope he's all right for Easter Monday. McCurry there. Looked to be a high shot. It's not giving. And that's it. There goes the final hooter. The Wolves have won the first away victory in Super League 5. They've come away from the shave 30 points to 20. Victors over the Blue Sox. But it was a great game, Daryl. Not the right result for the Blue Sox, but it certainly was an exciting game. One that was in the balance for the last few minutes.
Yeah, great game, spoiled by a man in the middle. As Warrington clawed their way back to 16 points all at half-time. And they came out with a try from Kovalov and a conversion from Blakely, which just made it a bit tougher from Halifax. But Florimo replied with a try that cut the lead to 22-20. Halifax have been penalised rightly or wrongly consistently by Steve Presley. Breers was the man that scored the final 8 points for Warrington with a penalty, a conversion and a try. Jamie Bloom chased him all over the field. Halifax pulled back for a forward pass that never was. Warrington supporters will be happy, and unfortunately Gary Mercer is bound over for £1,000 for comments he made about a referee earlier in the season. He's not going to say anything about this one in public, but I think he'll have a lot to say in private. In fact, I'm sure he will.
I'm sure he will, Daryl. But it's been a great game, played in good spirits and a good win for the Wolves.